How to get how to invest in yield farming, complete beginner's tutorial for crypto investors. Starting from no knowledge, no wallet, no MetaMask or anything at all. So our first the things we're going to look at is the wallet, which is going to be the main crypto exchange used to purchase and sell your crypto for fiat currency, i.e. cash used from a regular bank account. Secondly, we're going to look at the exchanges, such as the sites that you'll be trading your token for token, such as Trader Joe, CoinMarketCap, and other places like that. Next, we're going to look at the research, deciding on what network you'll be trading on and where, deciding on the factors of Ethereum versus Avalanche versus, I believe there's one called Ghost Network as well. There's different kinds of networks for different types of tokens. And lastly, we're going to be looking at where and how to invest, coming up with a plan to execute and optimize your income for future projects. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to look at is the wallet. For this example, we'll be using Coinbase. This will be our basis of trading our actual currency for Bitcoin, Avalanche, and of the such. So Coinbase will allow us a medium to purchase our cryptocurrency so we can begin investing. Here's an example of what Coinbase looks like through the web browser. You can also view it through the app. On here you can buy and sell or even convert your coins from one kind to another. I am currently using Avalanche for the following examples later on in the slide. We're going to talk about MetaMask. So what is MetaMask? MetaMask is going to act like what we will call a bridge between your wallet, such as Coinbase, Binance, and other platforms, and the platforms you're going to invest on, such as different DAO projects or trading platforms that have staking. We'll get into those in a little bit. And this will allow you to access all the different types of coins from those exchanges. So on the right, we'll have an example of what Avalanche mainnet looks like on MetaMask. When you set up properly, this is exactly what it looks like. This will hold our main token, which is going to be AVAX, which will allow us our network median. Next, let's research what network we want to invest in. So the things we need to look for are the gas, time, and projects. So with gas, there's fees that are accompanied with every transaction. This fuels the network. Time is going to be how long the transactions take, which can vary between different... I'm sorry, you said my volume's a little bit low. Does this help a little bit? Here, let me go ahead and repost this for the people that's wanting to join right now. We'll give a second real quick just to make sure. Alrighty. Alright. We'll wait for a couple more people to get into the live chat before we continue with the lesson. Thanks, Dano. I appreciate you coming into the chat. Alrighty. Hey guys, thanks for joining in. Currently we're looking at, I'll go ahead and go back one more slide, just so everybody knows where we're at. Yes, you're right on time. Thanks for showing. Alright, I think we're at a safe point to go ahead and continue our lesson. Alright, let's continue. So right now we're going to be talking about how to get into researching and what you need to look for when you're deciding on the network and token you're starting with. So right now we need to look at what gas, time, and projects are. Gas is going to be the fees that are accompanied with every transaction, and with those it powers the network. Time is how long each transaction will take, depending on what network you're on. And for the projects, what type of goal the projects are striving for, and what network they're going to be on. All these are very important when deciding on what your base token is going to be, whether it's the Ethereum network, or the Avalanche network, or the Binance network. So one of the main things to look at is what kind of projects you're going for. Say for Uniswap or BuySwap on the Binance chain, for Trader Joe, on the Avalanche chain, which is my primary chain I like to use. Valley Aiken, if I'm pronouncing that right. So far, we've just gone over what Coinbase and MetaMask are as for examples of a bridge and a wallet. That's where we're at right now. So you haven't missed much yet. Don't worry. So with those projects, it's different factors of gas, time, and what the overall goals of each one are. The next thing we're going to look at for when you're looking at a project is ROI. So a lot of times when you get into different types of projects, you're going to be either staking, minting, or bonding, what have you, for each project, and this is going to determine how long it will take to get your money back into what you've invested. Now, this isn't the most important thing in the world. Believe me, it can be a major factor, but there's other factors that will be just as important. Moving on from there, we're going to, since all four of these are really important when it's deciding on the platform or coin to invest in, another thing you need to pay attention to is the price graphs and how the trends are. So you never want to invest in a dying flower. It won't look pretty when you receive it. So for example, if you're buying a coin that's been steadily rising and suddenly it plateaus and it starts to be falling, that can be an okay time to buy in some situations for that coin. But in other situations, it can keep diving and diving, and then now you're in the red. So you always want to keep a good look at the history of the token you're going to be researching and investing on. That way, when you're investing, you're not already in the negative, and you're just slowly climbing your way out. It's always good to have a good head start. Now, but in these situations, you can also catch a flower blooming, such as a coin going from $5 to $20 or even up $2. Because each coin that's going to be a percent profit, and you can use that to reinvest in other areas at a higher yield as well. So everything is going to start with that initial investment of that token. This is an example of what a bit ago a dying flower would look like. Some people at the beginning of this graph were buying into Shiba Inu when it was still rocketing. But as time went on, it was starting to die down and turn into what we'll call a dying flower. Now in this dying flower, it went down in I think it was a 2.7%. I think it went down even by 20% if I remember correctly this morning as a recording, but I can't be too sure. But this would be a good example of what a dying flower would be if you're trying to start with a token such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Avalanche. Always make sure that your trending graphs are either even or in the green, or just in general staying flat. Next, let's take a look at something called R U Generous. Now on the Avalanche chain, this is an example of what would be a DeFi project of a DAO. So a lot of DAO projects, you will have a token of that DeFi project. You have the option to buy and stake the token, you can mint the token, and bond the token for discounted rates, what have you, and get rewards for it either way. This is how a lot of token projects get started and the more marketing aspect of the beginning of recent times. This way they can get a good launch for their overall goal. This one in particular is an education coin from the research that I've been doing and talking to the actual creator of this token. The goal of this one in general is to make crypto investing easier for everyone in the future. You said what's the difference between bonding and minting? They're the same. They're the same thing. It's just different terms depending on what network you're on. Let's say if you're on the Olympus DAO network, which is on the Ethereum chain, you'd be doing bonds of what they call it. Versus on Avalanche, on here, it's called minting. So it's the same thing, just different terminology depending on the network you're on. So we opened this slide with what is yield farming and learning about it. So let's go ahead and dive into what yield farming is to begin with anyways. So how can you grow your cryptocurrency with yield farming, also known as liquidity harvesting? It's the practice of lending the token to other people. You get this interest from fees in the exchange, as well as profits from the actual treasury itself. So yield farming, when you're staking your token, you're taking kind of like a stock bond with having a dividend payout. So when you're holding that token and you're staking it, you're essentially receiving a payout for you're receiving a portion of the profits from the bond contracts and the transaction fees when you're staking the token itself. As the same goes for when you're minting, I can't really explain it like that. I'll dive into it more in 1 second after this next slide when it comes to minting. But yield farming is essentially getting tokens for investing into the token itself. So our next topic, we are actually going to discuss minting and bonding in more details with a little bit more information instead of just offhand information I have. So when you're minting or bonding the token on your network, you're supplying an equal amount of asset for value of the token you're minting. By doing so, you're rewarded tokens over a vested period of time and supplying the assets of the DAO reserve. So the Federal Reserve that's on the DAO, for example, the one we're using, the R U Generous DAO project, when we are minting that token, we're providing extra for the Federal Reserve, and that extra, a portion of that, they're getting profits from that's going to the people they're staking. So you have this ecosystem between investors, between one providing nutrients to the soil, the project itself being the sun, and the stakers being plants, what have you. And you're going in this loop to make an ecosystem for everyone all together. So overall, minting and bonding is going to be the best way to contribute to the token and extend the project. Because not only are you reinvesting into the reserve and everyone's getting more rewards, but you're adding stability. And that's where you'll see the term runway when you're looking at a DAO. The term runway is for how long the project can sustain for those stakeholders at that exact rate they are on. Now, this runway can extend depending on how many people are staking or not at that APY. But a lot of times the runway will adjust, so will the APY along with it. But with more people minting and bonding and such with the token, it can increase how much the APY is overall, as well as other factors. So that's it with minting and bonding as far as the information I have concerned. Mind you, I'm not a financial advisor or licensed for that. So if you have any questions about any of the topics I've covered in this video so far, please feel free to ask in the chat. Morris, absolutely. I'm dedicated to trying to help people in this project, and I'm learning myself along the way. And I've always been taught if you can teach it to others, you've learned it correctly, and you have a better foundation on the knowledge. But let's go back over to the topics of DAOs. What a DAO is kind of, from what I can see, here, let's see. Can you explain the minting percentages? If it's 90%, is that the discount and the ROI is 110%? Do you get the rebase of percentage 2? I just got here, but okay, I just got here, but other than that. So, actually, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about something real quick. So, I couldn't add the picture before, but I'll go ahead and pull up my window for my minting on R U Generous. So currently, I've only invested a small amount. Here, I'm working on it. Pulling it up right now for y'all. So minting and staking is simultaneously more profitable. So let me see if I can share this window with you guys currently. Give me 1 second. Alright. It's currently loading. Alright. So this is how much I've received with just... So this is what my pending rewards look like after staking 0.01 of rug with the equivalent in AVAX. Going through Trader Joe and getting this combined so I can mint it. So, what I know right now is of a very amazing loop you can do with minting and auto staking. So, when you're minting, you're getting a discount. See, the market price usually when you're trying to buy on Trader Joe or something of like that nature, you'll be paying at this price for the price of rug. But when you're minting using the value of your AVAX and your rug together, you're getting, I want to say less than half the price of a discount. So roughly, or more than half, so roughly 55 to 60% off for that token. And you receive it in a 5-day period. So what can you do to optimize not just getting a massive discount, but you still want to be staked as well? Well, when you claim your rewards and stake them, you're claiming that right before you have rebase. So let's say 5 minutes before rebase happens, I want to claim some of my rewards and stake them. So 5 minutes happens, I claim an auto stake. Now I'm receiving the tokens from rug, from minting, and I'm receiving tokens from staking the token as well. So I'm getting that income from that discount, and I'm receiving the staking that I get from regular staking. So currently I'm going to be getting, so right now I've waited long enough to claim 0.0008 rug. If I wait until 6 hours from now, I believe is the next rebase, I should have 0.008. and I can just claim that and then add that to how much I'm staking currently. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that in a few hours since rebase is happening. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to claim what I'm getting out of this, and I'm going to stake that from my wallet. So now I have tokens coming in from minting, and I'm staking them. Now, after I've received a portion of it from one rebase, actually no, that's not what I'm really planning at all. So that's not the best way to explain it. What I'm going to be doing personally is I'm going to split the profits from minting. I'm going to take half the profits from minting to remint to further how many tokens I'm supporting in the Federal Reserve, increasing my income, and then the other half I'm going to be staking as well. So I'm going to be increasing the tokens I stake and also increasing the tokens I receive from minting. So that way I get that 60% discount and receive the tokens and get those straight into staking, thus increasing how many tokens I have more and more exponentially, more than just staking. This is what I would consider my personal perfect loop of just infinitely going more token, more staking, more token, more staking, and I'm adding to the Federal Reserve of RUG, RUG. So when I'm adding to RUG, I'm adding more stability, eventually I'll be doing liquidity, and it just overall increases my financial securement when it comes to that, and I'm also supporting the project instead of just aping in with staking. Because just aping in with staking, it's not very profitable. Like, you can make profit from it easily, but when it comes to minting with this type of discount as well as staking, it's greatly more. It's greatly worth it. That's yeah, it's essentially $1,000 discount. I don't see any reason to not to mint. You're getting a token in 5 days. I'm getting more rug than I would staking. With this particular project right now, it's just genius to mint. A lot of projects such as Olympus, I think right now we're having issues with bonding with their percentages being off, but with this, I fully believe in this project, and right now they're doing everybody correct the way they're giving out their rewards. Because right now that is a massive discount you're not going to see anywhere else. I think I've seen on Wonderland where you get a 5% discount for the token if you mint it using the Time AVAX token or the LP. You can, I mean, me personally, I'm going hardcore with this. So I'm going to be getting, if it that next rebase is at midnight, I'm going to set an alarm for midnight, get up, reclaim, restake, go back to bed. So you can't really go cheaper than the mint price unless the token itself is on the lower end, say 1400 for rug. Yesterday the mint price was around 587 or 550 if I remember correctly. So you can get a cheaper price, but that all depends on the other factors of how AVAX is doing, on how rug is doing, how the liquidity pool is doing, the reserve is doing. So it's possible, but you just have to have that right timing to get that slightly more discount. But the longer you wait with projects like this and more people staking and more people getting into this, raising the price of the token, the harder it's going to be to get this massive of a discount compared to market price. Yeah, a lot of tokens you can see at, say, 800 and 900 when the token's 3,000, but that's not always going to last very long. Does that answer your question, TJ and A? Absolutely, no problem. If there's any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them real fast. I got plenty of time. You have any questions on uh well, I just explained the minting process and how looping would work for me and for you if you did minting along with staking, and how stable it will make the project going further. Is there any other questions? The next question for X, you need to buy rug first, then turn it to LP, right? Yes. So what you do is you'll go on Trader Joe. You have the links on the website. You can go to Trader Joe. You put in your amount of AVAX or whatever way you're going to be doing the LP. You put equal percentage of each. So you need to have both tokens for this to work correctly. What I would do is take my staking rewards, or at least the percentage I've been getting so far, and unstake that and use that for minting. And make sure you have plenty of AVAX for your gas fees and for the equivalent of the rug that you need. Mind you, the minimum that you need to rug is 0.01, so make sure you have that amount altogether. It's going to show a very small fraction of the wrapped token, but that doesn't matter as long as you're equaling out to at least 0.01 rug, you're fine. I'm I'm Norwegian German. I'm not Indian, but thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Uh, if you want to get any more information about the project itself, we've been discussing with Jesus Christ, which is the creator of the token. If I remember correctly, his overall goal for the token is to be an education token, because you know a lot of family members and such, which I hate this term. I don't like to put label on generations, but people are born during the booming era, such as boomers, or anybody that's not very tech savvy that's wanting to get into cryptocurrency and into investing like this. The goal of the token itself is to make that easier for people that are not very inclined towards technology on that level. Oh, you meant someone else? Okay, cool. So I'm really behind the idea and the philosophy of the token itself. So that's why I'm going to be investing as much as I can into it. And hopefully, well, not hopefully, everything's going to go just good. The whole community itself is amazing. The project itself is amazing. So everything's going to be good. Any more questions? I don't know what the fabric of the cotton of the rug is, but as far as I know, it's Egyptian silk. Yeah, Dre is a really good person. I've been enjoying being in the chats with him when he does come into voice chat on the Discord, and he's done really good work with this project. I know he had one token called Scam, and I like how he names these tokens because it is just memes behind memes and memes. But overall, they're really good projects, and I've heard he's helped out quite a few people. Uh, if he ever decides to do a video or go live with me at one point, I'll let him tell those stories. Oh yeah, Scam is still around. That's right. People are still invested. It's still an ongoing project. And that was a successful project, wasn't it? I think nowadays there's even still memes on YouTube about it, but it's a good project overall. Well, I wouldn't say memes, more like echoes about the token. Oh yeah, that's right. There is a NFT that will not be released right anytime soon because the NFT market's not in a good spot. But there will be an NFT token that will come out, and I think it will look like a golden rug, if I remember correctly. Is it not on CoinMarketCap anymore? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to go over that real quick and see if it's not on CoinMarketCap. It is not on CoinMarketCap. I wonder why. Doesn't make sense to not be on CoinMarketCap.